I can remember sitting up here that night when things got really bad. I could see the trains go past, and I did think about walking down the hill and going to the train station to end my life. Hi, my name's Becky. I live here in Bath. I have a 2-year-old son, and I'm here to tell you my story. Yeah, I came to Bath 3 years ago. I managed to get a job on Countryfile, which is based in Bristol, and we thought, now's the time to leave London. Let's do it. And I became pregnant. We were so happy. It hadn't happened quickly for us, so it was a much wanted pregnancy. Just really, really happy and excited for what lay ahead. I was aware of what they call baby blues, and my friends would say, oh, wait, when your milk comes in, you're going to feel awful, so be ready for that. And that didn't really happen. I felt immediately connected to my son. I felt that immediate love that people talk about, and was in a kind of love bubble. And I remember friends and family saying how surprised they were, or pleasantly surprised how well I was doing. And I thought I was doing really well, and I was riding high in my little love bubble. The moment that things started to become difficult for me was when my husband went back to work. He had two weeks of parental leave to take, so he returned to work when my son was 2 weeks old. Up until that point, I felt like we were a really strong unit. We were parenting together. He was by my side. But when he left for work, I suddenly felt very alone, and really missed having that support. And things quickly started to feel very overwhelming. So it took me, I think, a very long time to recognise that I was getting unwell, that my mental health was in decline. It probably took me until about 7-8 months until I realised that things were not right. Certainly my husband noticed that I was not okay, and was kind of concerned about my welfare, but it definitely took me a lot longer to kind of reach out for help, and to kind of understand what was going on. My body was definitely giving me signs that things weren't going on. I was getting a lot of heart palpitations, and it would feel like everything was really fast and sped up all the time. I just couldn't relax, and I was always on the go. My behaviour had become very erratic. I was cleaning a lot when I should have been resting. I was busy doing laundry and preparing my son's food. So my behaviour was definitely off. But I think when you're in the midst of postnatal depression and anxiety, it can be really hard to untangle that for yourself and recognise that you're not very well. I thought that I wasn't equipped to be a mother. I didn't think that I was enough. I didn't think that my son and my husband would miss me if I wasn't around. I was so self-critical of myself. I thought I was such a bad mother. I was struggling with intrusive thoughts that I would harm my son. So I was in a very, very dark place, and but there was something pulling me back. I think because of the conversations I'd previously had with my health visitor, and some of my friends, that I knew that this was a really tough time in a woman's life, in a mother's life, that I needed support, and that perhaps I could get through it. So yeah, I didn't go in the direction of the train station. I walked down the hill towards my son and my husband, and I picked up the phone and I asked for help. The first conversation with the perinatal health team was it was exhausting. It was also relieving. I talked non-stop for about an hour and a half. I think I was ready to speak. I hadn't spoken to anyone about how I was feeling up to that point, and we were not 8 months into me becoming a mum with my son. And so it was really relieving to finally speak about how I was feeling, and to be heard, and to be listened to with empathy and understanding. I got a lot of empathy and understanding from that call with the perinatal mental health team, and a great feeling of relief that they were going to look after me. The journey working with the perinatal mental health team was absolutely transformative. So first of all, I was assigned a mental health support worker, a key worker called Andy, who was my one-to-one contact. We met in person, we spoke regularly on a weekly basis, on phone or on video call, and he was also on hand anytime I needed him. I could phone up the office and be put through to him, or if I couldn't be put through to him, he would phone me back, and we would have very long phone calls. Often I'd be up here doing the rounds of my son in the sling and on the phone to Andy, chattering away about how the week had gone. And he was just fantastic. And then Andy put me in touch with a psychiatrist, and together she put me on some medications. So I got on some antidepressants. I was also assigned a psychologist who came to my home on a weekly basis. We had talking therapy, and I was also assigned a nursery nurse called Tasha, who came to my house and helped me with play therapy, with bonding with my son, and also helped me establish some really helpful sleep routines to help get me sleeping, which is really, really important. Since getting the support from the perinatal mental health team, I am not just surviving, I am thriving. I have a beautiful relationship with my son. I no longer feel overwhelmed about caring for him. The perinatal mental health team helped me recognise that. My message to any mum who is struggling with looking after their baby, any mum struggling with postnatal depression and anxiety, is that you are not alone. There are many of us out there. But behind the scenes, people are struggling and they are not coping. Many of us are not coping, but we're just not talking about it. So you are not alone. And also things like intrusive thoughts, which I got about harming your baby or harm being done to your baby, are incredibly common. And it doesn't mean that you are a bad mum or a threat to your child. In fact, it's anything but that. So that you're not alone, and that you can get through this. But reaching out for support and accepting help and asking for help is the first start to that journey of recovery.